Whew, and we're back. The coffee hit, and I had to run for it. Oh god, there are people leveling here too. Damn it. As often as I'm saying how cool it is that other people are playing the game, they come in and they start killing my enemies, and I'm like, no. At least camping out and back in, my mercenary got a hefty boost to damage. He's actually finally starting to pull enemies off of me. Yeah, it is time to go after our buffs fade. Or at least time to get out of here. Especially trying to compete with other players for some of these kills. Nope. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I do really like these, some of the areas they ended up adding with Serpent Spine, having the alternate places to level, and some of these zones look really cool, I think. Like the Stone Hive area, I actually really like leveling in this zone. It's a nice change of pace from, ooh, it named. It's a nice change of pace from some of the super dark, dungeony EverQuest zones. Why am I having so much issue targeting enemies around my mercenary? Deranged Thrall? Why is there a halfling here? There's much pranking to be done. Oh, I don't think I've ever been down here before. I didn't even know there was like a downstairs area here. Ooh, the good news is after we hit level 46, we can start getting some better buffs. I actually got like a whole different floor down here. This is cool. It kind of reminds me of like Carnor's Castle. I love zones where they're not big and wide open zones. They're like just vertical. They go really high up or they go really far down. Or they have both. Like Carnor's Castle, you have several floors you can go up, and then you have several floors you can go down. I really like that apparently this zone is the same way. I had no idea. Oh, there's spiders and stuff here too? Bruh. A psychotic thrall. Okay. This EXP buff that we have should be good just to get us just close enough to level 40, if not level 40. Not bad, level 24 to 40 in like a little over a half-hour playtime. That EXP bonus, though. It helps already that Firiona V server, or Firiona Vi, whatever you want to call it, already has an EXP bonus applied to it on anybody who's playing here. Come on, mercenary, do some damage, bud. Let's kill this healer. Oh, there goes our regeneration. What is this? Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably not ideal, but at least we're gonna have some enemies taking some damage shield damage. This will definitely get us to 40. If not, then we'll be really close. Note to self, tight corners, full of enemies. And at least if we die, we'll end up respawning, hopefully in Plane of Knowledge and not Crescent Reach. I didn't even think about that. Whoops. Let's put the fart gas coverage down here. And apparently, even though my tank mercenary is set to assist me, apparently he's just doing his own thing, so... The experience down here dropped pretty drastically. We were getting like 20 to 30% a kill. Now I think we're getting just like 10 to 15. Oh, we're gonna be so close to 40. After this guy, need to go find us just like one more enemy to poke and kill. I don't like this area. Number one, these guys run. Or down here at least, number one, these guys run. And number two, a lot of them also heal. Here, there's one more. Should give us the EXP we need before that's gone. We got 30 seconds to kill this guy. Come on, get us to 40. Yes. Just like that, we're 40. Oh. And a little bit over because we got attacked by one more enemy. This way we'll be able to teleport out, get buffs and regeneration from our druid, and we'll be on to the next area. Wow, that was like 10% experience. Wow, that was not good experience. Where is our origin? Level 32, let's see. Let's see what kind of EXP this guy gives with this supposed hot zone that we've got here. We're at 14%. Even if it's bad, I mean, we gotta get over to the higher level zone stuff anyways. Wow, that is very bad. Holy crap. Wow, that was bad. Okay, let's get closer to the high level stuff over here. That gave us 4% experience. And it's a hot zone. We have a 50% experience potion going, and it's 150% experience bonus happening right now. And the Furion V server has a 100% experience bonus on top of things naturally. So we're getting like a 300% experience bonus, and that still gave us 4%. So hopefully this gets better. And hopefully Gorinair is not just chilling up out here and doesn't completely ruin our day. It's blue. Gorinair being up would be an interesting time because my poor rogue would get pretty heavily destroyed, but my druid would at least be able to save the day. Oh, that enemy's blue. Let's see here. Okay, let's kill these guys here. Let's see what we get. One's blue, one's light blue. Light blue guy first. We're at basically 18%, so another 3. 30-ish percent. You were no longer following. What a shocker. Somehow we ended all the way out here. I hate auto-follow in this game sometimes, guys. Invite word. Follow. Let's point us down at the ground here. Disband. Okay. Yeah, we really got to make it past these guys and go. We need to get over here next to Carnor's castle. Well, I do know that if I suddenly just get feared and start running in a different direction, it's because a big dragon started attacking us. So, hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't really want to spend time at the giant forts, because I don't think they're really going to be... don't really think they're going to be worthwhile for experience. Let's set our little mercenary to passive, get us running over here. Got the drachnids and stuff over here. Oh yeah, all this stuff is light blue. I remember this area being way higher up as far as levels, so I think it's just because we just got to get over next to Carnor's castle out of the ice area. I did not remember this stuff being level 30 for the most part. Good old Dreadlands. And it is really interesting to see the area like aggro despawner that they included now for the game. Like, so many enemies just actually like start turning away and forgetting about you after a small area. I don't know if they did that just to prevent people from pulling large groups, or maybe they did it to prevent trains, but so many of these enemies now, like, they'll attack you, and then once you run like 20 feet in the other direction, they just forget about you. It's much more modern day game, but it feels kind of weird. I mean, hey, I guess not causing trains is good. So we should be getting pretty close to the high level monsters over here. And we still got our team here. Alright, where are my enemies at? 36. This is so strange. I thought this area was like much higher level than this. What am I missing? But I'm afraid that Carnor's castle is going to be like way too high level for us. Okay, there we go. Yeah, here we go. I click through mercs, click through pets. I am tired of my mercenary causing me problems here. See, this one's 41. This is better. Sorry. There we go. I was like, what the hell? Why is this taking so long? What's happening? Oh yeah, my mercenary's not attacking. Okay, come on, experience. What do we get here? What do we get here? What do we get? We're 32.5. Okay, 13%. I mean... Since maybe this area is so much lower level than we thought, maybe we should just kind of dip our toes into Carnor's Castle real quick. Let's get a general idea for what we're what? Oh! Nice, he's the one that offers the raid for the new anniversary stuff. Classic EverQuest targeting. There we go. Guys, it's going to be really cool once we start hitting 46, I think it's technically 51 plus, when we start getting access to the alternate advancement points, and we start getting better and better damage improvements just from leveling up and our AAs that we get from those. I mean, let's just fuck it. Let's just go. Let's see how bad this is. I remember there being a pretty substantial difference in the leveling experience from like 30 to 40, but I didn't remember it being that bad. See, these are 47. 42, 47. So let's go ahead and let's do this. We'll use our druid to pull so we don't get ads. And we'll just do it that way. So Carnor's Castle might just be the way to be. If we have to use our little manual Thorns system, then we will do that instead. Oh, see, that's... Oh my gosh. I remember why I started using Thorns to level like this, because that is just so much faster. Okay, come on. Don't die to Thorns like that, guys. Okay. I mean... Let's go. See, this should be a pretty good place because these guys are anywhere from like white to yellow. So this should be okay. I don't want to have to use my Thorn system to level up quite yet. We might be at the point where I just have to start leveling up my other guys to like 40 and actually use our full group. Because we're at the point where moloing, even with thorns and these buffs, it's gonna turn quite a bit slower. And the areas start to get a lot more dangerous. You know, I don't even know why I didn't think about Emerald Jungle and City of Mist. I didn't even think about that. Emerald Jungle and City of Mist would be so good. Because they're also hot zones as well. Emerald Jungle is a hot zone. That would be a fantastic place to go. And I used City of Mist to level quite a bit for my other group as well. And our mercenaries finally starting to take aggro from us, which is nice. My biggest problem with Emerald Jungle, though, is how spread out everything is. You have to, like, really, really run around and search to find enemies. Some areas, like, they'll just spawn and they'll run over you coincidentally. But so many of the areas, like, once you've cleared it out, you have to really start running around searching for enemies. And that's just such a time sink. For pools like this, though, we're 100% going to use our handy-dandy little druid. See, that is so handy. What I'll do is I'll snare with my druid, let my Lobby poke the guys a few different times, and then I'll slap my like 3k damage shield on, and then just sit down so they automatically guaranteed get a hit on you. Ooh, that dude's level 55. Holy crap. That is a high level dude, comparatively speaking. That one should be really good experience. Okay, so we hit him. Oh, wow. So even with my, like, 3,000 damage thorns, he didn't die. Like, he only... Holy crap, that was a lot of damage. Woo. Yeah, he got hit with 6,900, 6,300, and my 3,400, and he still only barely died. We're getting to pretty hefty boys as far as hit points. That is like the drastic difference of going from like the 30s where you guys saw me in Stone Hive to where we're at now, even in Dreadlands, or not, Carnor's Castle, where these guys' hit points just start... Ooh, that's named. The Arson Soldier, or the... What is it? The Arisen Soldier. Okay. The Arson Soldier. The Arisen Soldier. I don't think I've ever seen that named here. Well, that's cool. What did the dude even drop? Blood of the Arisen Soldier. That's gotta be... Yeah, it's a quest item. Fine Steel. Ornate. White Silk. Fine Steel. Very, very, very nice. So for anybody who is watching right now, like what are some of your favorite low level zones? Like where do you really like to experience the game? Oh yeah, you can't cast because they're underwater. Lame. So yeah, so what are your some of your favorite lower level zones as far as, you know, like 30s, 40s, 50s? What are some of the places you enjoy spending some of your time at? Even if, like, we're talking some of the newer zones for EverQuest. Or are you just someone who's all about the old school nostalgia? Like, do you have an opinion on where some of your favorite zones are as far as leveling? Do you have, like, whenever you think of leveling, do you think of, like, I don't know, Kern's Tower, Pollutal Caverns? Do you think some of these zones suck? Do you have like negative opinions about some of the experiences you've had for these zones? Do you have a zone that you think of like, wow, that place was horrible, I never want to go back there again? Because I totally get that. There are some zones that if there were no other EverQuest zones to level at, I would just never play again. I still wouldn't level there. You could probably guess what some of those zones are for me, but there are a few zones I think of, like, if there was nothing else, I would never want to level there again. Oh wow. Century of Sathir, let's hit him. Let's make sure we hit these guys a little bit. It's like reference for like zones I think of that I would just never want to be there again. I'm thinking like Gorge of King Zorb, Worslick's Woods. What is this? Oh, nice. Yeah, Worslick's Wood. Lake of Ill Omen. I don't think I would ever want to level there again. Let's see here. What are some zones I've blocked out of my brain for the sake of like how bad they are? That's kind of rough actually, because there aren't many zones I could think of that I've had like a major negative experience at. I just don't think that they're a good time. I don't think they're worthwhile for the experience and effort you have to put in to be there. Negative leveling zones. Yeah, Lake of Ill Omen for sure. That's like the biggest one I could think of. Oh, Plane of Air. I know back in the day there used to be some people that really liked kind of charm kiting in Plane of Air. Plane of Air was a bad zone in my opinion, like a bad zone both for raiding and leveling experience. I have pretty much nothing but negative things to say about Plane of Air. Plane of Water as well. Like, who the fuck thought that was a good idea? I get why they did it, because, you know, Plane of Air, you gotta have the Plane of Air. But, oh, what a bad zone. Like, the swimming in this game has always been so bad already. The Karanas. Any of the Karana zones, not a good time for leveling. I get that they're super nostalgic for a lot of people because of what they are, like big open world, like zones and stuff like that. There's a whole lot of like comfort to them for some people, and they're cool zones. They are not bad zones at all, but man, they are just not good for like a speedy group leveling experience. Cool zones, fantastic, like just the way they look, how open they are, pretty zones, but yeah, just not good leveling zones. I think I'm also traumatized from the Karanas because of how much time I spent trying to get the Pegasus cloak back in the day. I think that's like part of like my negativity behind it. Yeah, we're getting to, let's go up here. Oh, okay. You can just die to thorns. Before I even got a chance to attack you. It's kind of rude. IMO. I love Carnor's Castle. Some really good. Oh, did it just die? Oops. Yeah, I love me some Carnor's Castle. Kind of curious if Venerable Saphir is even up as well. That'd be kind of an interesting experience at level 44. Oh, you know, we haven't even touched Sebolus or Guck. That would probably be interesting to level for like level 50 plus. I know Sebolus is like level 60 zone, so probably be closer to 55 whenever we try that, but that's another cool area. Pop that shield on, and boom. So it seems like Thorn's leveling is going to have to be the way to go up. After 40 anyways. Especially trying to solo. These guys are just going to take way too long. Oh, wrong way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spadudio. See, and now we can just do this. Bing, bang, boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This way we're utilizing the most of the experience bonus and our potion. I just really didn't want to... You know, I don't even have to look. We can just track. Skeletal prisoner. What are we looking at here? Oh. Barracks Kylock's remains. I don't know who that is, but... Yeah, okay, so no Venerable Saphir, so let's skedaddle onto this area. And whenever we get a little bit higher level, we can at least start going to some of the planar areas too. Okay, let's not get stuck on a corner. Good old Rocky boy. Ooh, what's up, Mr. Hand? Those things used to terrify me. For good reason, too. I did love how these guys drop a whole lot of the Kunart pieces. That was always really cool. Got some fantastic gear from these guys back in the day. That one's 50. What did we get here? Aww. And then you see this depressing Ornate Defiant stuff drop. Ornate Defiant, Ornate Defiant. It's hilarious to see this stuff drop alongside Fine Steel. It's like, ooh. I know the gear back then was not near as good, but that is depressing. Cursed Hand. Come on, buddy. Rolling, 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 rolling. See, in the time that we went from 24 to 40, we have gone only from 40 to 44 with, and that's even with our thorns, our thorn situation that we got set up here. I guess 45, but yeah, almost 40 minutes and we've barely gone from 40 to 45. Granted, some of this has been spent. Oh, I did not mean to do that. You're not supposed to kill yourself on my thorns. I got innate duelist 2. I guess you get some at level 45 too. I thought it was 51 whenever the AAs really start kicking in, but I guess not. Make sure and click that back off. Wow. That EXP just starts to slow down so dramatically after 40, even 45. Okay, so we killed all the hands. Oh, nothing dropped either. Okay. Yeah, Coroner's Castle is not going to be a good place for this for much longer. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to feel like we should just head out now, even. Because although winding and everything like that, it's just not going to be a good place for us. Okay, so... Oh, and our buffs were off. So we're 45. What does the leveling guide say about 45? We could go to Nagafin's Lair, which is also another bad winding place. All these old school zones. This is where it might be helpful for me to actually level up my other guys to 45 as well, and then just take a full group down there and use the full group to fight. That's just not as fun. It would be cool to find an actual like leveling group of people. That would be really, really cool actually. Ocean of Tears, which is still meh. Dulax Harbor, which is another really weird place. Yeah, a whole bunch of enemies run around in Dulax Harbor. This leveling guide, like I said, I'll post a link to it so you guys can see it as well. This dude went above and beyond to show where all the best enemies are in each of the different zones. Yeah, we just need to get a little bit higher level so some of those old zones, my guy can actually hit those enemies. Because with everything we've got going on right now, unfortunately, my rogue would just not be able to hit any of those bosses. Vexar would be really cool to see again. But it's another one of those really tight corner, small zones. Okay. You can just die to a single hit from nothing. That's totally fine. We just got to get up to around 50. Once we get to 50, we can start hitting some of the Planes of Power zones. And that will help quite a bit for the leveling experience. The thing that does kind of suck about Planes of Power is the enemies' hit points just like quadruple. They just start getting so much more thick, if you know what I mean. At least we're getting some respawns here. So am I just not getting any experience for these guys? Oh, damn it. My dumb ass. I've been in a group this entire time. Okay. Really using up that experience potion wisely. We're at that point now where our twink gear is still really, really good for us, but it doesn't give us quite the competitive edge that we had before. Just because everything was dying in, you know, not that many different hits. Stuff was dying way quicker. We just got spoiled by how fast things were. At level 46, I can go into Plane of Innovation, Plane of Nightmare. Okay, so we just gotta get to 46, and we'll start being able to level up substantially faster. Substantially faster. Okay, so let's get us to 46, and we can start going to the better area zones. Got some ads here. Go. Much better, much better. Might need to restart my computer soon. I'm getting like some really weird lag, and every time I'm switching screens, it's very, very odd. Because I normally don't get any lag or anything like that whatsoever when I'm playing this, especially when I'm only 2-boxing. So it's kind of strange to see that. My... Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. Of course, my little mercenary just decided to up and poof. Oh, we got triple attack. 46. Okay. Nice. Very, very, very nice. Let's get the heck on out of here. Would be cool if we could go straight to like Plane of Time. That'd be like a hell of a leveling experience. On to the better leveling. So it says at 46 we can access all the basic planes: Tranquility, Justice, Innovation, Nightmare, and Disease. That's all the tier 1s. And then at 55 we'll get access to the here too. Storms, Valor, Torment, Crypt of Decay. Ooh, there's a good one. 57, we'll get Bastion of Thunder, Halls of Honor, Temple of Mars, and Tower of Soulsec Row. And to be honest, we'll probably just for the most part stick with those until we're 65. Click the Broken Gear. Planet Time we get at 62. It's funny, you can access Riftseeker Sanctum at 69, but you can access Anguish at 68. That's kind of funny, actually. Let's go. Let's see how much faster this is, because these guys are going to be hopefully substantially better experience. Let's be smart and disband the group first. $52. So, oh, nice. 20%. Okay, we're back to the pretty good experience values there. That is much better. Kill the mini ones because they're just annoying little bastards anyways. Ooh. Ooh, wrong way. Wrong, very wrong way. $47. Okay. I will take substantially better experience gains very happily. So what are some of your guys' favorite planar zones, if you have any preference? Do you have any like good memories of some of these zones that you think like, wow, I had such a good time there, or wow, I really hated that area? Because I know the Plains of Power and Luckland is where a lot of people already automatically have some interestingly negative opinions anyways. It divides the player base a lot, I should say. It's very divisive. Do you guys have some zones that you think, like, wow, I remember loving that, and you have, like, really fond memories of it? Any planar zones like that? This is probably going to be a few. Okay, surprisingly not. Let's start pulling them all one at a time. Get a little bit of attacks on them. So So we get the EXP. Nice. 48. Now we're zooming right along. Like I said, this is not my favorite way to level at all, but this seems to be like this is going to be the way to go. This is going to get us up there the fastest. Now that enemies are, you know, quadrupling in hit points and the amount of time that they're going to take, it's going to be much harder to molo these fights. Oh shit, we're already 49, okay. Alright, nice. Now we're zooming. Yeah, we're getting like 20 to 30% experience a pop now, so this is fantastic. We should be good here for a little while. Oh, no. Don't be that guy. Now these guys, I think most of these guys start hitting for around 200 or 300 at this point. It is a lot. And I found out the hard way a while back when I was leveling up a couple other characters through here. There is like a random raid boss that can spawn here. Like out in the open, it's like a level 70 raid boss. I don't even remember what content he was from. But he blinded and like instant killed most of my leveling group. And oh nice, level 50. He like blinded and AoE killed most of my leveling group like instantly, and I had to like solo him on my druid. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Let's take those off. Make sure we can hit these guys. And I know this isn't like the most engaging chat situation as well. I don't have a whole lot to talk about while I'm just brutally destroying these guys with thorns. So 45. Man, just die already. And of course, with this being said, like, my character can just not keep up with the skill, like the skill improvement from each level. Poor guy's like leveling up with every attack almost. I did not mean to do that. Oh, immune to snares, are we? $51 is up next. There goes the AAs. Boom. Level 51, 75 AAs right off the bat. Oh, come on. I hate when they do that. They manage to get 2 lucky attacks on me before I can actually get a single attack on them by my rogue. Oh, almost hitting for 100. Look at that. Triple attack. Nice. I miss back in the day whenever you would like level up after level 51, you would occasionally start to get like different titles. Instead of just being like a rogue, you would be, in this case I just hit rake. You start to get all those different titles for every little level up. This is another non-snareable. Already running right at us. Oh, maybe he did snare. I keep looking at my druid's experience, expecting something to change. Let's get a general idea for the experience now. We're at 62, basically 63. That was 15. Nope. Nope, nope. Off the rogue there, bud. Thank God snare generates so much aggro anyways. So anywhere from like 13 to 15%, at least off of these guys. These are all like lower level enemies here. See if this one manages to kill himself. No, no, we got a head in at least. Oh. My rogue's first hit for over 100. Look at that. Innate Duelist level 4. So yeah, we should be able to hit 55 here fairly easy. And then we can move on to like Plane of Valor or something like that. Oh, there's the junk beast. The greasy clockwork, that's the one I was talking about. We gotta make sure we don't attack that one. That thing will fuck us up. Thankfully it's indifferent, but yeah, the greasy clockwork, level 70, that's like higher, it's a higher level raid boss than basically any of the other stuff here anyways. That's the one that messed up my group last time. Come on. Attack the druid. There we go. It's indifferent. Yeah, so we're not going to worry about... How did me clicking there target that? This game's targeting system is so weird. Yeah, we got to make sure we do not attack that thing. Not looking for a raid fight here. And stupid etheric pool. Get out of here. Gonna make sure we don't accidentally click on the greasy clockwork thing and snare that, because the targeting system in this game is big brain. Yeah, I think it's going to be like every 2 or 3 levels now that we get like a whole big bulk of AAs whenever we level up. I think the next one's going to be like 55. Still really, really good experience considering. Even if we weren't using experience potion, I bet we would still be pretty close to like probably 45 or 50 at this point. Say, damn, is this thing gonna hit me or what? Probably going to be wrapping things up here pretty soon. All in all, we spent probably pretty close to about an hour and a half actually leveling up, not just sitting here talking to ourselves. Which, for an hour and a half to go from... hour and a half to go from 24 to 53, that's pretty good. interested for level 60, 65. Get us some much better gear. It's going to be awesome. It's going to give us a reason to hit some of that planar content again, too. Can't wait to spend a ridiculous amount of time in Plane of Fire. Now we're going to start getting some higher level enemies as well, and that will help substantially for experience. These guys are finally starting to take more than just a couple of Thorn hits to die. Where the bad boys at? Let's go. Where's the experience? Let's pull a whole bunch out of here so we don't have to stay in this room very long. It is kind of nuts to see how much better your damage starts to go up, just simply from the, well, number one, the levels is going to help, but also the AAs that you start to get. Everything just starts to like substantially jump as far as damage. Open back up, you douche. Cannot see your target. That one's dead quick. In all honesty, let's just do... I could probably be getting much better experience if I just suspended my mercenary. I didn't even think about that. My mercenary's taking a good chunk of my experience. Suspend. Okay, so 60% right now. Let's see how much better we get whenever the mercenary is suspended. I mean, looks about normal. I mean, it's still getting more experience for sure, but it's probably not as much as I thought it would be. And the good news is at level 55, we can start accessing the really good planes. Oh, there it is. Level 55. Very, very, very nice. What? So, still a pretty substantial increase in experience just by getting rid of the mercenary. I don't even know why I didn't think about that before, but oh well. Oh, Wanderer, let's go ahead and kill this dude. That's still really damn good experience. Alright, well, we're definitely going to call it quits here, folks. I know I wanted to quit earlier, but I wanted to keep going, so we're going to call it quits here. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one when hopefully we get to 65. So, have a good weekend.